I'm so tired. I shouldn't even be doing this, but I don't know. I told my mom I would. Actually, she thinks that I'm not, but I want to surprise her like I always do. Hey, man. I'm kind of getting set up, so it might be a few minutes. I just wanted to kind of get the stream going. So if I'm hey, Terrence, what's going on? Sorry. Hey. Oh, okay. I want some rain. We're not getting any rain for like a week and a half. Oh, my eyes. Oops. Excuse me. Lots of carbonation. That sounds like fun, actually. Nice. Sorry about that. This is why I don't leave before the sun goes down usually. Because, oh, it's a real Camaro. It's like a 67. It just froze up. But now I gotta drive like with the sun right in my eyes for a little bit. Oh, there's a couple. There's a 65 Corvette. Oh man, I should have had this thing facing forward. There might be more of them. Let's check it out. Oh. Let's take this route if it's available. Hey Chris, what's going on? Yeah, I'm kind of tired. I haven't slept very well lately. Oh, the stream just froze up on me. It was kind of weird. You're asking why I couldn't sleep. This guy's U-turning. Oh. See, I turned the AC loud. You guys can probably hear it. You hear that? I don't have any Sable Miner plants. I have seed of Sable Miner. Yeah, I'm making that run. Probably should have, I don't know. Probably should have waited, but like till another day when I had a better sleep. But I'm already on the road. I'm not gonna turn around on something unless I start feeling really sick or something. Yeah, the sunsets are pretty nice. Just when you're driving in it, it can be kind of brutal. Drink some water here. Can you guys hear that clicking? Yeah, the West Coast sunsets are nice. I kind of take them for granted, I guess. Here, let me see if I can't turn it down some. That probably should be almost gone. Okay, so I got on the road to go. Yeah, I know it's not quite the same. My buddy lives out in the Everglades, or basically out in the Everglades. He gets some pretty good sunsets. But if you're near any houses and stuff, you're not gonna really get much of a view. Yeah, I'm sure the sunrises are good. Where am I shotgun and a beer? I don't know. Yeah, they are. I've seen people post pictures of them from southern Tennessee, especially the swampy areas right by the river. I might not do Wawa on the way back, it depends. I might do Pollo. I know you guys probably don't care about this. I don't want... I know I talked to you guys about like the unveilings of what happened yesterday, and I just... I can't stand listening to that. All this is brand new too. I like those older Nissan Frontiers. I think they're called, what are those called in Australia? They're not called Frontiers. They're called like start with an A. Azera? No. Mercury, if you're still watching, what is that car? What is that vehicle called in Australia? I forget the name of it. Nissan's four-door pickup. Or Ute, I guess you might call it. No, it's a Nissan. It has a different name abroad, though. Datsun hasn't been around in 30 years. Datsun was bought out by Nissan. I gotta look it up, but 5 people in the house. Oh, it has a name, and it's killing me now. Like the Forerunner is called, like the Toyota Tacoma is called the Hilux abroad, and then Nissan's called something else, or at least they call the Hilux the Forerunner here. Oh, what's going on here? We got some broken down trailers. It appears, or some. Ooh, no, just picking up garbage, I guess. Look at all this open land. Soon to be a strip mall near you. I can turn my sunglasses torch. Oh, no, that's okay. Washingtonians are really not that picky about that. You could actually break the roots. This tropical pine, that's... Which one are you talking about, Zach? Talking about Australian pine? Or are you talking about the monkey puzzle tree or the Norfolk Island pine? This guy's trying to use a speakerphone in a convertible. That seems like a bad idea. Look at that color. Norfolk Island pine, yeah. I've got one in my yard. I wish I could chainsaw it down. It's not a good plant for... Like, it takes over, it kills all the grass below it, and it kind of gets real sappy, and it's cool looking when it's younger. It makes a great little plant, but a big plant, not so great. Goes belly up, then I don't know. It's hard to say. Can't imagine driving all the way from there to somewhere. It might have been a monkey puzzle tree, which is in the same family, and it's pretty cold hardy too. They're kind of unwieldy though. Man, I gotta wake up. Got some plams in 2 different spots. Insurance I see. Woolly pines. Yeah, my buddy was obsessed with them. They're pretty cool looking plants too. Are they fully hardy? Yeah, I know they can. I know they're like zone 7 at least. Yeah, Woolly pines are pretty cool. I don't think they do very well here because I would have seen them by now. Hello, IOU. Oh. I mean, I really wasn't picking for a favorite, but I probably would have gone... I was more of a lean towards the Patriots because I'm from that area. Chris, that's a good question. Maybe some of them hybrid, like some of that really wouldn't change. It might be a hybrid itself, and the seed that's on it might be. I've seen like on Foxy Ladies when they have fertile seed on them, the seed is not the same size. So you might have yourself a Vicia hybrid that has then been cross-pollinated with another Vicia. Cunningham Ann is a fast-growing palm. I've seen them like volunteer on the ground and like grow up to like 10 feet of wood in like 5 years. I'm driving up to Venice to go see my mom. Yeah, I can imagine that that cross pollination could definitely happen. Yeah, the Cunningham Ann is very good at doing that. Yeah. Eric, which species are you talking about? The Majesty palm and the fronds are yellow, or the trunk is yellow? Okay, hold on a second. It just gets a little hairy around these intersections here. There's a cop. He's just looking to. Yeah, you can cut it off. It's really not doing any good. Cutting Hamiana probably takes like 2 weeks max. It's like a vegetable seed. It grows so fast. I don't have a Sabletonia. It's one of those things where like I know there's a lot of them around, so I just. And it's actually kind of hard to get pure seed. Cunningham Anna can probably take, like a regular one can take about 25, and the Illawarra can probably take another 3 or 4 degrees. People thought it was like the most. God, this guy's been driving me nuts. Ugliest truck ever. Hey, SOA. Leaf, like leaf of it. I would just cut it off. I mean, you can if there's not really not any green on it. Yeah, I can do a video on them. There's not many around here. But if I can find some, then yeah, I'll do it. God, if I don't feel better by Punta Gorda, I might turn around. I just don't feel very good. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know, just a lack of sleep, or I drank too much caffeine, or crap mobile. I don't have a Majesty. I used to have one in my mom's yard. It had like 15 feet of wood. Seeds are actually oddly hard to get hold of because you need a male and a female, and otherwise you got to get seed from Madagascar. But they do seed. It's just I don't usually try and acquire the seed. Boy. Oh yeah. I mean, the truck was like missing down a headlight, and it was just like tailgating me. I just hate it when like old vehicles that obviously can't handle like new vehicles are like driving like sports cars, like old pickups. If you have a ton of Majesty seed, I definitely buy it or trade it from you. I mean, if you have thousands of them, they're just not the easiest seed to get a hold of, even though they're really common. Usually, like farms will have their own seed and they'll just produce it from that, but they usually like you just won't see it for sale. Really, there isn't a whole lot of demand for it on like the collector market. This road is when that guy passed me, he was 50, and I was doing 58, and then he passed me. It's awesome. Damn. That Cadillac was dragging a palm frond underneath it. You just hear it like just this like rattling sound. Hey Market Q, how's it going? I'm doing alright. Just trying to feel a little better. I don't know what's wrong, but I just don't feel that great. know if I'm gonna go to Wawa tonight. I might. I don't know why I feel so tired. It's not like I didn't get any sleep. I don't know. Maybe I just drank too much. I drink a lot of soda. It just makes me feel lethargic. It is 6:20 p.m. in the eastern U.S. Yeah, the Majesties will actually do okay as an indoor palm. It's not the easiest palm to grow, but they're not impossible. Oh yeah, I need some Red Bull meth. Now I have a heart attack. I used to drink a lot of Red Bull when I played poker. Not in this part of Florida, no. But if the north part of Florida, like once every 5 years, it will snow. But about 8 years ago, we had some sleet. But yeah, there's not going to be any meth acquisitions. If I have Red Bull, then it's going to like give me even worse. It's making me feel even worse. I can't have any more soda. I don't know if I need more caffeine or I've had too much. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about drinking moonshine and driving. That might not be a good idea. Oh wow, it's thunder and lightning. Yeah, he's having some thunder and lightning too, I think. Oh no, I don't let Ashley beat me up like that. It's not the way it works. She can get mad, but then she can put in her word, and then that's it. I know she got mad because I was live streaming and I was taking too long. Yeah, that's right. It's famous for whiskey. Jack Daniels. I'm sorry, no, Jack Daniels it's Tennessee whiskey. Jim Beam is Kentucky bourbon. There aren't any other native mercury, but we have plenty of eucalyptus trees. Really popular one to get with collectors is the rainbow eucalyptus. I was just sitting outside for too long. I mean, she legitimately wanted me to, come inside and, like, live our life and stuff. Yeah, it's true. I actually like whiskey. I don't really drink much, though. Not for any real reason. But difficult Palm name to pronounce. That's a good one. The one that I probably had the hardest pronouncing was the genus. One of the ones was if you look it up, I'm not going to pronounce it properly, but if you spell it out, it's Marojejya. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that died around here in 2010. Not as much like in Cape Coral, but in Venice, like I had a lot of dead coconuts. Yeah, I don't really drink liquor anymore. I'll drink beer sometimes, but I just can't. Like I'm not an alcoholic or anything. It's like I'm quitting. I quit drinking, or I just. It makes me feel weird and dizzy. Oh yeah, there's been a lot there in Englewood since the building boom in the 2000s. There's actually like an old wild one there. I don't know if it's still there though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can look up the pronunciation, but it's Marojejya. I can pronounce any genus if you want me to, but that would be pronounced. Now, see, I've taken Latin for. There's some because that's a proper name. I would pronounce it the way that the name was supposed to be pronounced. But the way that genus would be pronounced is Johannes Tasmania, and it's named after a guy named Johannes Tasman, which is a Dutch guy. Yeah, Marojejya Darianii is nice, isn't it? Yeah, in Englewood. You're right. It's just that once you cross the Peace River, it really is a little bit of a different climate. It stays a little bit warmer during the day, and you get more diversity. There's just more. It's because it's more populated too. Because Englewood's not a very large area, but Naples is, even though the town itself is not that big. I have seen a double-headed coconut, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, Johannes Tasmania. That's why they shorten it to the Joey palm. Yeah, Dylan, I hope that you want to live with old crotchety, grumpy men, because that's who lives there. No offense, I know Naples too well. Just be careful about walking on golf. I have a friend that has a nursery there, and it's just. I would recommend like Bonita Springs or like South Fort Myers. Naples, its climate is not necessarily a whole lot better than even like Cape Coral or Sanibel or Pine Island. It's so expensive. I mean, the house I live in, if that house is in Naples, like a mile from the water, you're talking like $600,000 or $700,000. Market Q, Marojejya Darianii is not, it's on CITES, so it can't be transported without permits. I can tell you guys, I told you guys the story. I've seen an 8-headed palmetto, and I've seen a 12-headed queen. They're obviously inbred. Pay for insurance for hurricanes. Yeah, I mean, the insurance in Florida. The hurricanes are factored into it, but flood insurance is not, unless you have a mortgage that requires flood insurance. So if you get flooded and you don't have flood insurance, then you're screwed. The hurricane insurance will not pay for it. But if there's hurricane damage, every homeowner's policy in Florida, at least in the peninsula, has to have that, unless you own the house outright, and then you can just take your chances. So. There's a couple palms that do that. There's Dipsis minuta. There's a couple licowalas, like Licoala triphylla. I had one in my yard, actually. It was really cool. I'd pick little seeds off of it. Little bloom spike, like 4 or 5 inches long. They don't really take long to mature. We make a much better time. Sorry. Oh, you're coming in the summertime. You need to get permits from both the. It's on CITES Appendix 1, so you have to get permits from the country that you're buying it from, and you're from India as well. So. Oh, something smells bad around here. Yeah, I've tried to offer Jeff Marcus, like, buy large quantities of seed from him, but it's complicated. Oh yeah, the person was lucky I didn't get to pull alongside him. There would have been a lot more than honking going on. Oh, this is killing me. I never understood why Mitsubishi decided to take a Dodge Dakota and be like, we're just gonna take the body and put a Mitsubishi badge on it, even though we're not known for our pickups. And call it the Raider. Just seems weird. Nothing really special about it. Oh no, we have CITES palms in the U.S. They were just acquired before CITES was a thing, or they were acquired with the proper paperwork. But once the seed is in the U.S., then you can grow it. But that's funny, Zach. I had to make a phone call. It's going to last no longer than 2 minutes. So if you guys don't mind if the streams pause, it's gonna probably happen in about 2 minutes. So I'm not saying, it'll pause, and if you can just wait a few minutes. Yeah, that's a nice palm, isn't it, Market Q? And I would say it's probably hard to get into India. It's very difficult to grow outside of the tropics. I've tried it a couple times. It doesn't like any dry weather. It doesn't like its roots dry, and it doesn't like any wind. So the monsoons might blow it all apart. It does well in protected inland tropical areas. I mean, there's a couple that grow around here, but you really need a good shady location. All right, guys. I'll make that phone call in just a second here. Oh yeah, I've been to the Keys. It's been a while, but I've been there, yeah. I've never seen a dwarf cabbage bloom, and I've seen them really tall. Well, no, I should take that back. I've seen them bloom, but not put out any good seeds. So the climate in the Keys is really nice, but it's the salt water and the bad soil that makes it harder to grow the tropical plants you think would grow there very easily. You need to buffer yourself from there. All right, guys, give me about 2 minutes, and I'll be back. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Sorry about that. Buffet of venomous snakes. I couldn't think of anything else I'd want to do that's greater. Yeah, it's a lot of driving. Like, I mean, there's a boat ferry that goes from Fort Myers to the Keys, but it's kind of expensive, and it still takes a couple hours. But if you drive from here, it's about 5.5 hours if you're lucky. Oh man, that 2002 call, they want their ground effects back. Yeah. I'm in your town, Dylan. I'm in Port Charlotte. My favorite snakes. Port Charlotte is a driver's nightmare. At this time of year, it's one of those things where you just stay off the roads. Come on, the light is green, let us go. Part the Red Sea. Let my people go. And no one really wants to actually go. Oh no, don't do this to me. Don't leave me in the middle of the road. What is going on? What the fuck is going on here? Jesus. Oh, there's something bad going on here. Oh, this is killing me. What is this? Oh, you live near El Jobin? Yeah, then you're lucky. There's back roads all around there. I mean, this is just crazy. Like, this is 6 lanes. This is not a big town. If there's no accident, then it's just poor traffic management. You want to see me start to get a little bit, like, upset at the roads. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. Oh, come on. And then I get disconnected. Oh, this is killing me here. Sometimes you just got to make your own road. I mean, there's just no, like, real reason why it should be like this. So... like, this should not be red this long. I don't know what's going on. I know that's like the traffic just malfunctioning. A lot of Florida's road just can't handle all the traffic from, like, people that are, you know, showing up. I was making killer time. And then this happens. What was that? Oh, 36 miles an hour is gonna kill me. Sorry, guys. This guy has the weirdest sounding blow-off valve on his diesel, and he's driving like he's tailgating everyone he's driving with. So I'm just trying to. I just want to get out of this town. And now suddenly there's no traffic. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why did that happen? I'm sorry. I feel like when I'm like tired or in a bed, or just like, all I do is vent, and I do it on live and YouTube, and like no one really wants to hear it. So I can't complain about the weather though. It's 74 here. If anyone has any Palm questions, then you know, feel free to. Now, for those of you who watch the live stream and email me and do ask a lot of questions, I can't get to every question, but I will try and answer the ones that I can get to. It really depends on the amount of time that I have. That's why it's better. That's why sometimes I do these live streams, so that people have questions I can, you know, give easier answers. one reason like I kind of care about the time is like I always watch Jeopardy with my mom, which starts at 7:30. So like if the traffic keeps up like this, I'm just not gonna make it. I'm sure none of you guys really care about that though. Wow. I do have some Coonties. Not a lot. I used to have a lot more, but I have grown Neovicia from seed and from like some plants. It's not an easy palm to grow. It's one of the hardest palms I've grown from seed. It's not very rewarding. The seed doesn't germinate all. It's very random, and the germination rates are usually fairly low unless you get extremely fresh seed, which is quite hard. In fact, I got it from Habitat one time, and it was like terrible. Like I had like 30% germination rate. I've heard of like greater ones than that from some Hawaiian plants. I might just. I do have a hibiscus tree, bush or whatever, at the house. It's kind of gnarly, and half of it's rotted, but it's still alive and blooming right now. Ashley actually wants to cut it down, but I don't because it has character, and I mount other plants to it. So. Just killing my time here. Going 30 miles an hour through Port Charlotte is not the way to go through life. That's not good. I've gone on some little minor expeditions, but nothing like out of the country to do palm stuff, which is probably surprising considering like what I've done with like the amount of time effort I put into plants. But the one part of it's like my issue with flying. So I mean I've gone on expeditions to find like Florida stuff and Louisiana stuff, but I haven't really gone to a whole lot of. It seems like whenever I think of the idea, someone like has already have a trip planned. So, I mean, they want to go like Madagascar is like like $2,000 to $4,000 trip. I mean, it's cheap once you get there, but it's a lot of money, and it's a long flight from like Miami to Paris and Paris to Antananarivo. That's probably a total of like 15, 16 hours of flight time. I cannot believe I'm not through this town. Oh, God. Get me out of here. I mean, it's not even really that bad traffic. It's just it's like slow motion. It could be so much better. Then I get cut off. Here we go. Yeah, pretty much anywhere that has some cool palms now is going to have an expensive round trip flight. Australia is expensive round trip, especially when I get out to the outback and to the palm, like some of the more what's it called, remote palm areas. Thailand is, it's cheap. Thailand, Southeast Asia is cheap once you get there, but getting there isn't necessarily cheap. If I didn't have that flight situation, I probably would have done it anyway. I wouldn't have cared about the monies. But I'm gonna probably get a call from my mom in 5 minutes, which, yeah, I've heard of Paris, Tennessee. I've been to Paris, France. I mean, I remember driving like 100 miles an hour in a Mercedes limo. I mean, not limo, Mercedes cab. Yeah, I had a very interesting experience, emergency landing at a hard to explain unless you actually experience it, but it's like absolutely terrifying. Like, I don't want to scare anyone from not flying, but like, there's no movie that can do it justice. I gotta use the bathroom too. This sucks. It's not really fear. I don't really actually fear crashing. It's more of like the anxiety of it. It's like the anticipation. It's something that I could probably work through. It really sucks. But should have a little bit more energy if I'm going to go live. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm getting there. I appreciate you guys hanging on with the stream. Yeah, I remember I used to love that, and then near the end of my flying experiences, I used to dislike that. So anyway, I guess one thing that I don't mind talking about is, as you guys know, I would say I was going to make a vlog about it. I don't know if I'm going to make an actual vlog, so I'll tell you guys in the live stream. I worked for a private client, probably the largest one that I have worked for, starting in June of 2017, and you saw me going to Miami and a lot. Like, I'd always have videos in Miami, or they'd be filmed there. You see me going there, and this client had made arrangements essentially for me to stay in Miami during my work, and everything was good. The job was great, and things were working well. I was working well with my friend Ken, and when you're transporting whole gardens and you're selling them, essentially, my friend, in one of the vlogs, sold his garden, and it was a certain price, and there's a commission for selling things like that as a broker. As a person, basically as the broker, the palms, their value, and as a result, you help. Also help the. Okay, sorry, it's getting text. As a broker, your knowledge of the whatever subject you're working on, whether it's a real estate broker, a car dealership broker, you're a broker at a car dealership, or I'm brokering plants. Like, I need to tell my client what. You have to tell your client, hey, this is worth this much. This is not worth it. Buy this, but don't buy this. Even though you make a commission off of the deal. So when I was selling these, when I was there, Ken had me come there under the idea that I was gonna make some money, with the client, and my friend Michael wasn't paying me anything, so I was just there because I was in the area. And Ken proceeds to make a $115,000 deal, and which would be a $23,000 commission, and I never saw a cent of it. So I was a little bit salty about that, especially when I asked him for a little bit of it, and he told me not to worry, that I had a job to do this sort of thing. And now I had a full-time job. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, the job's pretty nice. And then I did my own deal that was not that big, but close to it. And Ken started asking me for half, and I'm like, half of what? Like, you didn't even know what you were selling your client in the first deal. I did all the work. I didn't make a cent, and now you want money from me? Like, that's definitely not happening. The fact that I don't go to the client and say, hey, Ken didn't know about anything about what he was selling, so money started becoming like a big deal when Ken would get involved, and it was upsetting. There's some other things that upset me, and he knows that. He did some things during our trip in Louisiana that are, we'd say he went a little rogue. I gave him instructions to do certain things, and he just didn't care. So now, fast forward to about June of last year. When you work for a guy that has like 20 specialists working for him, a lot of times people that kind of like these egos, they battle. And I was working and doing the whole database because Ken's not very computer literate. He's not exactly the most literate person in general, and everyone was saying that I wasn't giving them access to the database, and I was. They just didn't know how to use it. And I told them to go take a tutorial on how to use this database. It's on YouTube and everything. And so they started accusing me of like deleting everything, which was so ridiculous. Anyway, I got a phone call from Ken a couple days ago saying, let's not take this, let's not make a big deal out about this. I'm just trying to help you out, with making more work. And I'm like, what? This doesn't even make any sense. All you're doing is just trying to lie to me, saying that you didn't tell the client that that I was like. Okay, I just told her to text me. So anyway, come June, I'm not really going to Miami anymore. The client says, I don't really need the work. And then I find out why, because everyone else that works there, I don't live in Miami. I'm the only person that's coming from like another, area to work there. And I guess they felt that I was just kind of like had the dream job, which I did, but they wanted a piece of it. And so they had to be a little bit of a snake and a rat and kind of do that. And so, it's just, it's a very Florida thing. I don't really, it sounds ridiculous, but, to be undermined like that to the point where you end up losing your, I didn't want to talk about this because I was still working for the guy, like just not in Miami. And I was pretty salty about it for a while. But it made me like want to like. That's why I started like the seed company and that sort of thing, and doing consultations. But I found that the wealthier the person I work for, the worse I'm going to be treated, and/or I'm going to have to deal with more like drama. So, with the money comes the problems, or as a rapper would put it, "Mo money, mo problems." Zach, I don't sell it on Amazon because it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like the seeds on Amazon, like, I feel like Amazon's meant for, like, it's not a place to sell plants. I mean, maybe it is and I'm missing out on some market, but I will sell them on eBay. Yeah, man, the money changed the way that, that I had that friendship, and with a couple people. I had another guy that I'd known for a while, and he came in part-time. He had screwed Ken over, and then Ken screwed him over, and it was like, it's just the way that people do stuff. You can see that's actually an Ontario plate for you Canadians. And it's the way, like, business is kind of done down there, and it's really, I just don't want to be a part of it. And as far as I'm concerned, Ken still owes me half of that commission, so he can say whatever he wants about it, but he would never have sold those plants if it weren't for me. And I don't work for free like that. I don't mind helping you guys out with it, IDing stuff, potting stuff up. Obviously, I love doing that. But when someone who has the money to buy plants like this at that caliber, and someone who's a professional salesman is selling stuff he has no idea about, and he pays nothing to get that information, and instead, like, just uses, I mean, a good friend too. I don't know, where I come from, you just don't do people like that. But yeah, Ken was so loyal to this guy that, he started questioning things. I'm like, Ken, I'm like, listen, you say one word to him about anything that, issue with the way that I do, the way that I'm doing, setting. I was in charge of, like, making sure the plants were properly transplanted and stuff. And I was like, if you get any ideas, Ken, you're just, as John Goodman would say from Big Lebowski, you're entering a world of pain. And it's part of the nursery business, or the plant world, that, like, you never hear about really unless you're in it. So, like, sorry, this is a little depressing. It upsets me that people can get away with these things today, and yet the client, who's very intelligent, is either just, like, so lazy about what's going on, or just, doesn't want to hear, like, firsthand. I know you guys probably don't want to hear this, but and it's happened to a lot of people. I have a good friend I just talked to on the phone about an hour and a half ago, and I'm trying to work out a partnership with him, and he's, oh, yes, you do. What, Jeff? Yeah, I'll get you some virtual fries. I'll make sure they're made hot. But it's one of those things where when you grow up a certain way, and I didn't grow up in Florida. Oh yeah, no, I mean the contract for sure, and that's the problem that I had with, I've just come to, like, realize that everything's kind of temporary in most aspects of Florida life. So, but I mean, just, you learn from your mistakes. I made a mistake, not with the job, but the problem is that essentially when I did that first sale, I should say, if I was to start, like, putting my hand out for money, which would have been, like, the business thing to do, in fact, I mean, I would have risked the job that I had gotten. So, I thought, oh, well, I got this nice job out of it, but I didn't get a commission. But in the end, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, it was still kind of extortion in a way. It was kind of like, if you want your job, you're going to have to, like, take a hit on this. And so it just, I mean, it was a lot of money. It wasn't like, a few $100. It was a lot of money. I mean, for most people, it's a lot of money. So, yeah, I know. I mean, and I've dealt with people like this in the poker world, but I haven't. I expect it in the poker world. Like, I know that, like, if someone asks for a business arrangement in the poker world, because you can buy, like, you can buy someone into a tournament, for example, or, like, pay for half their tournament entry. Let's say the tournament's $1,000. You pay for 500 of it, and they cash for $15,000. You would get half of it because you paid for half of their buy-in. And there's people that that dip out on that, and it's the same kind of business. It's like the stock market essentially. So it was, yeah, Zach. It was a shade house, but I put $3,000 into that, and I watched it get bulldozed. I feel like I have a lot of negativity that I'm bringing upon the stream that you guys don't want to hear. People don't usually want to like listen on a live stream about negativity. They want to hear positive things. So, oh yeah, I've got lizards all over the place, and I love them because they eat all the insects that I don't want. All the mosquitoes. I even see them in my house. I'll see them in the shower, and I'm like, all right, man, listen, if any insects come, any like ants, just take care of them. I don't care. You can hang out in the shower all day and all night for all that matters. It freaks a lot of people out, but I don't really mind it. So, man, at this rate, I'm gonna barely make it there by 7:30. Yeah, the Cuban tree frogs are pretty cool. I mean, they're invasive, but I mean they're here to stay. There's not much we can do. Oh, killing me with this traffic, killing me, Smalls. I'm gonna just make it in time for Jeopardy for my mom. Snake in their bathtub. Hey, Marky Q. I don't know if we have curly tails over here. Sorry, Marky Q. I was just venting a little bit about the situation I had to deal with a close friend of many years. There's some other aspects of it I can't really talk about, but that are even worse than that. Yeah, the anoles can get there's some really rare ones that can get really cool, like blue and green colors. When you get closer to Naples, there's a lot more like wild iguanas. There's some in Cape Coral too, just not as many. It really comes down to people, keeping them as exotic pets. And there's more of that in Miami. You have the monkey parrots, I think they're called. Monk parrots, all over Miami. I've seen a blue parrot flying around Miami. I didn't, it was clearly like someone's very expensive pet at one point. All right, let's get on here. I'm gonna have to jump out as soon as I get there because I'm about 15 minutes away and I gotta make Jeopardy by 7:30. Oh, I didn't know they could live up there in Chicago. Getting tailgated, so. Oh, wow. I didn't know that was, what do we have here? No one here wants to go 55 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, so. I could be an aggressive driver at times, but I'm always very watchful of my surroundings. Let's put it that way. I don't think I ever mentioned the vlog is my mom actually used to run a car magazine, and I got to meet a lot of people and do a lot of cool, car collector stuff when I was like 18 to 21, and yeah, I mean, got to take a lot of like defensive racing courses, like how to not get in an accident when you're racing a vehicle. Yeah, I didn't know that they were like cold hardy, so to speak. They're all over Miami though. that a cop down there? It's just so weird because that place is like a bar that's only open a certain time now. It's just some kind of expect delays. Ain't nobody got time for delays. Where's their Copernicia Rigida for $42 and a 4-incher? Oh, eBay? Yeah. You know, I could probably sell them on eBay, but eBay takes like 15% essentially. So you're looking at like $6 there, and then the shipping, and then if they're not the easiest plants to ship, but yes, I'm expecting delays. There's a lot of guys on there that'll take plants, they'll buy them from Jeff Marcus, and they'll throw them up on eBay. You know, and I've seen it even done on like it's like everyone knows about Jeff Marcus's wholesale plants. They're not going to spend $35 on a 1-gallon plant, which I would never do that. My 1-gallons, like if I were selling my Rigidas were 1 gallons, they'd probably be like $35. But that's a whole different story. So I feel bad charging $20 for them, but I mean, I only have a few left, and they're in pretty high demand, and they're not cheap. I mean, $30 plus 12 shipping, okay. And a 4-inch plant is very like a 4-inch Copernicia like really doesn't exist because they shouldn't go into a 4-inch pot. They should be in a deep pot. But do I have a Queen Sago? No. Unfortunately, Queen Sagos are very susceptible to scale, and they are not very. They used to be planted back in the 70s and 80s, but not anymore. So I'm gonna get there like right at 7:30. I'm literally gonna have to jump out of the car and end the stream. So I apologize in advance. When I left myself enough time to get there, I don't know what happened exactly, but that's a sort of. Oh yeah, Jeff, they're only about 18 inches tall in a pot, if that. They kind of grow like level to the ground, and then they grow upward. With any phyllense, I like to personally check them out to make sure that they're actually phyllense. And whenever I'm there, it's been dark and it's kind of hard. Yeah, Floribunda. I mean, Jeff's a great guy. He's a little, he can be a little grumpy, but tests were, and he'll. I mean, I guess he'll appreciate it a little bit from me. He emailed me once saying thanks, so I guess he doesn't dislike it. He is more of a wholesaler, so if you're gonna buy from him, try and buy in like chunks of like 3 or 5 if you can, and it's just one. So, yeah, I will be on coming back for sure. So I have 4 or 5 Baleana seedlings. I have them packed, ready to go. A customer sends me a check and it bounces. Yeah, they are around, Jeff. I can really try and look hard. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, it's one of those plants you're just going to have to pay the price if you want the plant. I mean, it's not like there aren't really like deals to be had. It's in such high demand. I mean, I can't think of really any other palms that are in higher demand right now. The only way I can give you a deal is if I were to sell you my own plants, which I would if I had them that size. So I can make a few phone calls. What happens is some guys will find a wholesaler selling them. They'll buy them up. They think the price is too low. Like, let's say they found 3 gallons for like $40. So, yeah, I mean, for a small commission, if you tell someone about, my plants and stuff like that, things that I sell, that means just as much. So, if it's not that hard. Jeff Searle might have them, but he may not. I don't. He's. Anyway, so these I got 45 Baileyana seedlings, and I don't know what to do with them. And I can put them back in. I took them all out of pots. Now I've got to have Ashley repot all of them, or I've got to repot them. The guy isn't getting back to me or anything, so just okay. All right, no, that's fair, Jeff. I mean, obviously, I probably subconsciously will probably work a little bit harder at it if I knew I was getting paid. I mean, most people would. Yeah, the problem is the guy used to buy a lot of stuff in large quantity before, and I think just kind of went on a reputation, and I haven't had a 10 years. So, I guess, Jeff, I mean, I know that, I don't want to be useless to you, but at the same time, when I am doing this kind of work, that's usually my thing is, so. They really don't grow a lot around here, but I mean, the people who do have them, you can try finding. The problem is you have to drive down to Florida to come get it. No one, I don't think anyone's going to ship a plant like that, unless you can arrange your own shipping. Runner check. Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's some big 3 gallons. If you want to buy some from, shipping a 5 or 10 gallon Arcana Phoenix is going to be nearly impossible. You have to bend a lot of leaves, maybe cut the spear. Okay, you're going to come get it. You might as well get the biggest one you can. Yeah, Cunninghamiana. I have a nickname for it, but I'm not going to say it on the air because it's a little bit, wrong. I have a very sick sense of humor that I try not to bring to the public, because even though you guys might enjoy it, someone in the background might be like, "Oh wow, Christian's on the on the air. He's saying all this nasty stuff. What kind of person is he?" Or for example, I don't know anybody on Pine Island that field grows. I might know one person. Yeah, Coco's Tennesseans. You can't play Poker Stars in the United States, but Dylan, you can play it in Canada. So a lot of people from America go up to Canada for they go to Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and they'll go play, which is legal as long as you just get a bank account in Canada, and then they come back. There's a lot of money to be made online. Online poker is very profitable because you can play a lot of hands. The more hands you play, the more money you can make. So, okay, you got to import stuff. That's good because that's half the. All right, so I'm gonna have to jump out of here in a few minutes because I gotta make Jeopardy. I'm surprising my mom, but I will be back on sometime around 9. I might be leaving a little bit before 9 because I'm kind of tired. So I bring you guys in there with me and see my, surprise my mom's face, but it is like a medical facility. I like to respect people's privacy. So I will say hi. Maybe I'll start the stream again, in the what's it called, her room. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will, like I said, I'll be back on around 8:45, 9 Eastern, somewhere around there. If I'm a few minutes off, you don't see me right away, I'll be there, because I'm not going to drive home and, I'm not going to just drive home in silence. I'd much rather talk to you guys the entire way. I'm in Venice right now. There's some Majesties right there. Yeah, I know. The poker is alive and well in Canada. As of 2011, you can't do it anymore in the U.S. It really sucks. I used to play a lot on Poker Stars. In fact, I used to love it so much, I actually had my friend in Poland let me use his, I used kind of like Team Viewer to play on, but there was too much lag, so my decisions, instead of having 30 seconds, I'd have like 15. And it's just Porker, yeah. We're playing some Porker. Some No Limit Texas Hold'em Porker. Yeah, she's in good spirits. All right, so I'm here now.